Hello, welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz, and I will be guiding you on this journey today, as always. You know, um, so the last couple, I don't know, how long has it been? Like the last couple months, the last couple readings, I've really only been focusing on the human design profile readings because I felt guided, to focus mainly on those. And so, that's what I've been doing. But I am feeling like avoidant, I guess, of my own life. And I'm like, I could, I was sitting here, I'm like, I could like, do some tarot readings. Because what better way to like avoid yourself than to like talk to your friends and like get nosy into like their business and like, like what's going on with you guys. Right. And I'm like, what? I want to do zodiac sign readings because I literally just put out, I think I finished on Saturday, maybe like I finished the human design readings. So I didn't want to like do another round of those like quite yet. So anyway, that's what we're doing. I hope you're all doing well. I hope your anxiety is staying at bay. Like mine is high as hell today, and it has been for a little while. It just, I'm not going to bore you with my problems. I'm here to like talk about you. So let me introduce the decks to you, and also like I'm so glad that this tarot deck was happy to do this reading because I just was also not really in the mood to to like go through a bunch of decks to figure out like which one wanted to do the reading, because over here consent is everything, and anytime I use a deck for a reading, I did get consent from it to do it. Like, and what that means is I'll shuffle the cards until a card comes out, and it's a yes or no card, and it's plainly yes or no. It's usually like the Eight of Swords or the Three of Swords or the Tower, or like something that's like kind of plainly I am not in the mood, the Five of Cups. And then of course, on the other end of things, it would be yes cards. And the card that came out for this deck, which is the Midnight Magic mushroom deck, was the Empress, which was so perfect. And I was just so glad. Like I was like standing over at my wall of tarot cards because, oh my God, girl, like I counted them. I have like 70 tarot. I just have to stop. I like have to stop buying tarot decks. Although like I just found this Kickstarter. Anyway, after that one, no more. So anyway, yeah, like I was standing there and I was just like, oh my gosh, I just don't feel like, because usually like the one that I have in my head is not usually the one that I'll end up using. I'll like grab a couple and shuffle and, see who actually wants to do the reading. But this one caught my eye. And then I also bought it at the same time that I bought the Mushroom Spirit Oracle. So just goes together really well. And I'm so happy to be able to use these decks because I haven't yet. I've had them for a couple months. I actually used it for one of the 333 readings that I did, which was also like, it was so beautiful. Those readings have been so cool. And again, thank you to those who have trusted me with that. But yeah, and I even, like I said, in that person's written, thing, I was like, oh my God, I haven't even been able to use this for anybody yet. So I was glad that, I'm glad to be able to use it. My only thing of disappointment is that I don't think this Midnight Magic deck has any psychedelic mushrooms in it or any psilocybin mushrooms in it, which is honestly disappointing to me. Just because of like the healing qualities of psilocybin mushrooms. Like I've been using psilocybin mushrooms for the last year as a form of wellness. And I mean, truly, I think that incorporating them in my own, like healing journey has just amplified it. And I don't think I would be where I am today if not for mushrooms. Like I've had so many amazing breakthroughs and aha moments, and which sure it might have happened anyway, but however, the mushroom spirit oracle does have golden teachers in it, at least. So there's at least one. But anyway, not that, whatever, I mean, it is what it is. I wasn't expecting like the whole deck to be, specific to that. That wasn't an expectation, but I did honestly kind of expect for there to be some in there, but what are you going to do? They're beautiful cards either way. And I'm just mumbling now. So, let's get into, is there anything else I don't think so. Let's get into your readings. Great. So this is the reading for Sagittarius. Wherever Sagittarius is in your chart, I hope you're all doing well. We just want one. So let's get your oracle card out for Sagittarius. What do we have for Sagittarius? We have Fairy Ink Cap, Subtlety. All right. That's a number 22. What do we have for Tarot? Sagittarius. We have Temperance. That's a Sagittarius card, so I love that. What else for Sagittarius? Interesting. The Seven of Swords in the reverse. That's two cards. Like when I like started to do these readings, it just like kind of worked out, whereas like kind of feeling like or what? What am I saying? Sorry. Oh, let me resituate this stuff. Hang on here. Okay. Like every time 4 cards have come out, it just feels right to like stack them. Or whatever reading. I haven't done it for like every reading, but anyway, just kind of interesting. We have the Three of Wands at the bottom of the deck, and then the Three of Pentacles behind it. 2 of Cups, Page of Pentacles, 2 of Wands, 2s, 3s. So let's read about this Subtlety card. All right. The Fairy Ink Cap is normally found in dense masses attached to tree stumps or roots. It starts off a pale white and turns gray before it blackens and dies. Very delicate, it will collapse when touched in an absolutely stunning display if you ever come across them. That's kind of hilarious. Some things can come and go in the blink of an eye. One day they are there, and the next day they are gone. The energy here is delicate and fairy-like. This subtle energy is here to create a magical atmosphere, a beauty that sometimes goes unseen. Are you noticing the subtle energies around you, or are you too busy to notice? Fairy Ink Cap reminds you that many small or subtle acts can create massive shifts. This card is a reminder to be subtle. Moving in on something like a steamroller might not be the best course of action. Subtlety is key here and can be extremely powerful, so give it a try. Someone may be trying to tell you something that you are not hearing because it's very subtle. Much wisdom can be gained by observing and feeling the subtle energy around you. Every plant, tree, or flower is giving off subtle energy. People, pets, and places may have a subtle energy that can only be felt when you quiet yourself enough to be able to sense it. Fairy Ink Cap says to slow down, create stillness and mindfulness in your practices, and you will gain great wisdom from the energies around you. You don't need to go out and search for this energy. It will find you if it hasn't already. Be ready to listen and take it on board because it could come and go before you even realize it. I feel like that's like really pretty interesting for the cards that we have out here as well. The Temperance card is about like blending energies. It is alchemy, but it's been coming through as like figuring out your own personal blend, like whatever that is, right? Like work-life balance, like social and alone time, being active versus resting, right? Like it's coming up with your own flow. And it's not even necessarily coming up with it. It's just finally, with this King of Cups down here, it's like finally figuring out what that is. Finally allowing yourself to be in your own flow. And even like the alchemy thing, with the, the Temperance card, of course, it can also even have to do with like temperament. And, anytime the Temperance card comes up, I'm like immediately, I think of chocolate. But I actually, I wanted to look up why. like I know that tempering chocolate is a thing, right? But like, why temper chocolate? Because truly, like the process of tempering chocolate is heating it up and cooling it down, right? Which is very like temperance as well, balancing those two things, but also having to like go through the process of it as well. Because like if you skip any steps, if you try to rush through any steps, you would ruin the chocolate, I think. Like I think you would have to like start from scratch. There's really no saving it. So, because there is, a patience aspect that goes into temperance as well. Because also it like takes trial and error in some cases. Also even being like hyper aware of how you are feeling through the process. The King of Cups is, of course, like the king is the highest expression of the suit. There's a mastery there. There's an emotional maturity there, intuition, discernment, awareness. For yourself, but also, involving other people. And also, too, the thing that is like coming through with the King of Cups is that it is the highest expression, or it would be the highest expression of love. Again, that you could give yourself, that you could give other people, and potentially, too, like with it being, paired or whatever with the Temperance card, it could even just be that the highest form of love that you can give other people is by finding this balance for yourself. Not pouring from an empty cup, not, engaging or even like committing emotionally in some aspect when you just don't have it. Or it's also even recognizing that like you don't have to. Right? I mean, again, like emotional maturity here, it's like instead of just kind of leeching, or instead of just being completely open all the time, no matter how you feel, it's accounting for how you feel first. I love that there is this like snail in this card, and in the shell of the snail, there's these two fish, because I think this is actually a Pisces card. And, I mean, Mercury is retrograde in Pisces right now, which, I mean, of course, it would depend on your chart, but if you're a Sagittarius rising, that would be your fourth house. Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, yeah. Your home life, privacy, like what you do behind closed doors, boundaries, roots, security. But obviously, if you're not a Sagittarius rising, then it would be like wherever Pisces is in your chart. But yeah, there's these two fishes in here, and there's also this boat. And it just like it feels like slow and steady, because snails are like pretty slow. Hell no. I feel like whatever update Mac is doing, it like fucked my laptop up, kinda. Like I keep getting this like random error anytime I turn it on. Anyway, sorry, it just like came up with a install an update thing. Like you just updated it. I don't know. I'm kind of getting a little peeved with Apple, not gonna lie. Anyway, let me look up actually. Patience, determination, slow and steady progress, reminding you to trust your journey and move on a natural pace. Yeah, hello. Like, but what I find to be interesting though is that there is still movement here. Like with that ship symbolism in there. I feel like that's in there, and especially in regards to the snail, like it could even just be slowing down and being more aware and more intentional in your awareness of your intuition, what you feel, how you feel around other people, how you feel in your environment, how other people make you feel, Excuse me. Snail symbolism is letting you know that you need to slow down. Slow down, Savannah. Which also is a bit of temperance as well. I mean, temperance is not a card of movement. It's literally a card of patience. Like it's, like I said, balance. Of course, the alchemy thing, the blending together of energies. Like there's usually an angel that's holding two cups, and they're like constantly, pouring the liquid from one cup into the other. And that's like where I'm getting the whole coming up with your own flavor, like your own blend, whatever that is for you and your life. Like it really is being so intentional with where you are spending your energy, and especially since we have the King of Cups down here, especially your emotional capacity. And even like with this subtle card, it could just be like little tweaks and changes here and there, not necessarily like huge expressions of that, but again, just tweaks and changes. It's not like there needs to be a major overhaul or anything like that. It's just this is working and this isn't. So I'm going to stop doing the thing that's not working, or I'm going to tweak it. Subtle changes, right? Like I'm going to tweak it to a way that does work better or feels better. The Seven of Swords in the reverse is like interesting too, because I kind of wish I would have talked about this at the beginning, because I had a thought about it, and now of course I can't. Hang on, it's coming back. It's like making its way. It's almost like not gaslighting yourself anymore. Because upright, the Seven of Swords talks about trickery, manipulation. I see it as a card though of like us fooling ourselves. It's literally, like us telling ourselves that we have to be a certain way. We deserve certain things and we don't deserve other things. It's self-sabotage. It's limiting beliefs. It's swords. So it has to do with our mindset and our thoughts, ideas, morals, values. Did I say beliefs? Truth and honesty though. But it's like, if we adapted some type of truth at some point in our lives, which is usually when we're much younger, and we've just been operating from that story forever, right? It's like discovering that is not even true for you anymore. Who knows if it ever was? That's not really the point, I guess. It's like you can't really go back. You can't change. All you have the control to affect change with is your present and potentially your future, right? Based on your present actions and your present thoughts, mindset. So there could be a truth that you are discovering, but it could be like somewhere in there, it's recognizing where even that, like, you could have manipulated yourself, or, even used manipulation. I mean, we all do it, we all have, because in the reverse, it's like, it's either an internal process, something that you are discovering about yourself, a truth, that you're discovering, just, again, some area of life where, like you've recognized that you have been, again, just reacting maybe, or just acting out of some story. Again, right? Like I had to be a certain way. I had to present a certain way. I had to blah, 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 right? And that continued because it worked. But maybe you're to a point now where it's like that's just not, it's not working on like I want to say like a cellular level. Like you don't really want to have to use that story or that programming in order to create something new. The book says reversed can be victimhood, imposter syndrome, keeping secrets. Swindlers may steal away hard-earned notions of self-worth, resulting in imposter syndrome. Recognize what affronts hold no merit and don't slide into insincere victimhood. Trust your intuition and act with honorable strategy. Which I kind of feel like the Temperance and the King of Cups could be honorable, whatever it said. I've already forgotten. That really is not good. I really should be concerned about how fast I literally forget shit. But I don't know. I mean, I don't really feel like you're being a victim. I mean, I don't even know if I've ever met Sagittarius that, well, I take that back. I take that. I met one Sagittarius rising that can be victim-y sometimes. Anyway, because yeah, I was gonna say, like, I've never met a Sagittarius that has been, you know, like victim-y or fallen into victimhood. I mean, you know, it's not like, you know, it's not like every single Sagittarius, right? Like, you know, clearly, because as soon as I said it, I was like, oh, nope, I met one. So anyway, I don't really feel like you're being victim-y, or I don't even really think that it's like imposter syndrome. Maybe, but maybe like what the imposter syndrome was though is whatever the identity was before, right? Because I was saying, like, if you felt like you had to be a certain way or act a certain way or believe a certain thing or have an identity around a certain thing or whatever, like something like that, that would have been an imposter. Especially if it was not true to, and especially since, I mean, we're doing the Sagittarius reading, we have the Sagittarius card out here. This, I feel like this is all about like reclaiming your energy or even claiming it fully for the first time. Intuitively though, there's no shame, there's no guilt, there is no imposter syndrome, there's no manipulation. It's just, you know, like what is coming through. You know, the Fool card is it's a card of like, you know, it's a leap of faith. But for me, like, it's the moment you decide to take that leap. It's, you know, sudden change. It could be, you know, changing directions. It could be changing ideals. And also what I wanted to say about the Seven of Swords is that, like, maybe you're not being very vocal about this process either. It could be, because again, I mean, Seven of Swords is secretive, and it doesn't necessarily have to be all negative all the time. I'm like trying to think of a manipulation that isn't bad, you know, because it like talks about manipulating the odds, like handicapping your opponent so that you're able, not you, but you know, the Seven of Swords, like so that the figure on the Seven of Swords is better able to be successful. And again, I mean, maybe there have been periods of life where you have done that. Again, I mean, who hasn't? You know, I mean, shit. But this Fool card though is like it's a completely new, it literally is a completely new journey to you. It's completely uncharted territory as well. And it would be releasing this facade, the mask, the story, the ego, the whatever, the programming, you know, like whatever it is. But also, I mean, there would have been some sort of like self-discovery in that, in the fact that like it doesn't work or it doesn't fit for you anymore. And yeah, like I said, like maybe you're not really telling people. Maybe there are just, again, like subtle tweaks and changes that you're making. And I mentioned somewhere something about like on a cellular level. I mean, it literally can be soul and cell deep. Even though, I mean, we have the Three of Pentacles back here. Because I'm like, we don't have like body. We do. Threes, 3, 3, 2, 2. Here's a Two of Cups at the bottom of the deck now. The Three of Wands is about direction, adventure, broadening your horizons as well. Which, what the hell, what does that even mean? Expand one's range of knowledge, experience, perspective, or opportunities. It is often used to encourage trying new things, such as traveling, reading, learning new skills, or meeting new people to increase personal growth and understanding. Okay. Yeah. We start with the Ace, of course, which is that moment of inspiration. It's the excitement, the motivation shows up, something that you want to put your energy towards, which, this is fire, wands, and the Two of Wands is like, all right, now what do I do with this, right? It's planning for future action. It's getting all your ducks in the row type of thing. The Three of Wands then is starting to put that plan into action. And with it being a 3, it's at the beginning of the Wands suit. So it is more like curious and adventurous and learning new skills. Like it says, meeting new people. It's like new experiences. And especially too, like, if you are really honing in on your intuition, and again, like just figuring out your unique expression, then it would be also like meeting people that fit that vibe, just making connections. It's not like, having to hang out with them all the time or marry them or, it's just curiosity. And even too, maybe even being like excited to connect with people because you can put your right foot in and then you can take your right foot out. You put your right foot in and you shake it all about and you do the hokey pokey, but it's not like you have to just, once you're in, you can't get out type of thing, right? Like you're in and you can get out. And you know what that looks like for you too. The Three of Pentacles here is collaboration with others. There's a cooperation aspect with that as well. Community, networking. This is also, like I said, the cellular level, because I was like, we don't really have quote unquote cellular level cards out here, because I'm talking like human body, and Pentacles do represent the human body. So this can be other people, but this could literally just be cooperation or collaboration, literally of your cells, of your body, of figuring out how to work with your body instead of like, trying to control or keep a tight grasp or whatever the case may be, right? But it's like just learning how to better function and work together. It can be, of course, other people. This is the card, like I usually talk about like group projects with this card, but it's like there's one objective, and there of course doesn't have to be 3 people. There does generally involve other people because there's, collaboration, but, like everybody has their part, and everybody actually does their part as part of, the one objective or the one main goal. But like everybody's skill, their expertise is like the perfect thing that's needed in order to accomplish this goal. Working with other people, just making connections with the right people. It could be, networking for work. It could be, friendships or communities or groups, and even just wanting to be involved in that way in some capacity. And you could find yourself being interested in different types of groups based on what this is for you with the Fool card. The Two of Cups is also about connections. I mean, it can be a romantic partnership. It's like one of those, it happens when you're not looking type of things. But also, I mean, it could be feeling ready for that. And also that it's a different type of relationship, or you in relation to that relationship is different because of this process. It's a card of shared values though, too. I mean, like, again, there are generally more than one person involved here. It could, of course, be yourself, but both people show up with their own Ace of Cups. So both people have the capacity to not only fill their own cups and manage their own cup, but they have the capacity to pour into yours, just as you have the capacity to pour into theirs. But it's reciprocal. It's even. Again, shared values, right? Like you would be on the same page. You would come into the connection level, again, with your full cups. And you're not having to overextend and over pour and get literally nothing, in return, except for like trying to figure out how to recharge yourself and how to like fill up your own cup. You already know how to fill up your own cup here with the King of Cups. I don't think the King of Cups would ever let their cup get half empty or all the way empty again. They know what that feels like. They know what it looks like, all the things. Beautiful. Honestly, I was actually going to try to do a reading earlier after I did the Scorpio reading, but all of a sudden, like, I got really effing tired. I might have been hungry. Like, it might have been my blood sugar tanked actually. But I literally, like, I shuffled the tarot and asked if, I'm like, should I do the Sagittarius reading right now? And it like gave me a no card. I can't remember if it was maybe the Five of Swords. And I was like, oh, okay. So I wasn't even sure if I was going to, it's 2:52 right now. We start with a 2, we end with a 2. We have 3 3s or 2 3s. Anyway, I'm glad that I waited because, yeah, I mean, I think that this reading was absolutely beautiful. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I will talk to you soon. Bye.